bedroom. This is sort of its default state. This is what it usually looks like. I almost never turn the main light on. I usually use this neon light over my desk as the main lighting source, but for the purpose of the room tour, I'm going to turn the regular light on so that we can see everything in a little bit more detail. But this is sort of the default state of my room. It's almost always dark and very coolly lit by this blue neon light. I really like the cool lighting, but that's just a personal preference. So I'll address first the bed. It's very attention-getting. You might be asking, Amanda, why does a single 5-foot tall person need a king-size bed? And the answer is that I don't. I just obtained this bed when I was first moving into this house. My grandparents were moving out of their house, and they were downsizing to have one extra bedroom, so they were trying to get rid of a king-size bed, and they asked my parents, do you guys want a king-size bed? And my parents were like, oh, perfect, we're trying to furnish our new house. We'll put the king-size bed in here, so now I have a king-size bed. It definitely is a little bit big for the space, but it's nice and comfy, and I can have epic sleepovers. The bedspread, it's this like galaxy bedspread that I got. You can tell that I obtained this bed when I was 13. I would kind of like to change it at some point just because it's really dark, but it is fun. And the other good thing about my king-size bed is that I can have so many plushies, like so many. I'm not going to go through all of them, but some highlights. This is my Saturn V plushie from when I worked at NASA. That one right there is Puppy. I've had since the day I was born. He looks a little worse for wear, but that's fine. There's my Melody, some Squishmallows, my beloved Seal, and a cinema roll all on my bed. So that's very cute. And that's pretty much the bed. It's not too exciting. Starting from the entryway, right when you turn around, I have these hooks on the back of the door. And these are my most used purses and bags, as well as my keys and arcade card. Here's my tote bag. This is like my everyday bag. It has Rui and Yosuke on it. And this is my fancier bag. It has Amy on it. And I honestly can't get her off. The buckle that I hooked it to is too thick, and now she's stuck there forever. So sorry about that. Directly next to the door, there's 2 Miku posters sandwiching my light switch. I took this off and painted it at some point, so it's like a little sunset sky thing, and right below it is my laundry hamper. How exciting. Getting into the first one of these blue shelving units, I have 2. The drawers are just filled with clothes, so I'm not going to open them, but the top shelf has some books. That's a box of like pictures and memories and stuff, and this creepy hyper-realistic eyeball model. The second shelf has a lot more books and a couple of dolls. These are mostly art books and comics. I have one turned out. It's called Tumblr Porn by Anna Valens. It's actually really interesting. I highly recommend Tumblr Porn by Anna Valens. It's a good book. This shelf here has all of my like kind of fashion dolls. This is a Monster High Gen 3 Draculaura, and this is a Ever After High Way to Wonderland Lizzie Hearts, and they both have faces that I painted myself. That's a Gen 1 Twyla. There's a random, like, Harajuku girl there. I don't know if they still sell those, but they're pretty fun. A Astronaut Barbie. And then this one is one I made. She's, like, I think it's a Fluttershy head and a Ghoulia body, but I made, like, a mime girl out of her. I used to be really into making dolls. There's another doll in the back that was gifted to me. She's very pretty, but she doesn't really stand properly, so she's kind of sitting in the back. And a robot girl that I made. And in the front here is my collection of capsule chicks. If you don't know what capsule chicks are, they're these little tiny dolls that come in basically gachapon machines, and all of their parts are swappable, so you can customize them however you want, and these are the ones that I have. I think they're pretty cute. This shelf down here on the bottom is kind of dedicated to a lot of my retro tech stuff. I have this little metal shelf. On the top is my DS. It's a DSi that I got when I was like 9 or 10, and it's Hello Kitty. My Hello Kitty DS. I think it's pretty cute. On the bottom, that's my PS Vita. Oh my god. Hi. This looks very scary. That's my PS Vita. And then down here I have my Tamagotchi and 2 iPods. This one is a modded iPod Nano 2nd gen, and this one is an iPod Nano 6th gen that I haven't done anything to. There's some little keychains and doodads, mostly like Gudetama stuff down here, just because I think the yellows and reds look really cute together. This empty container is empty because what's usually in it is the camera that I'm holding right now. Usually my 90s camcorder goes here. There's an extra high 8 tape back here and a little Astro Boy toy that I got at like a thrift store, I think. And he stands up when the camera's in there. I sort of lean him against the camera. Maybe I'll put a picture of the shelf all together. There's a little whale. This is my collection of DS games. I have not a lot that are still in the case. Most of them are like loose cartridges. Ooh. Then these are my CDs. I don't have a lot of CDs. Most of them are like game soundtracks that came with special editions of games. So there's like the Persona 3 Reload soundtrack. I think that one is the No Sleep for Kamidate soundtrack. There's 2 Danganronpa soundtracks and the Need a Girl Overdose soundtrack. But then the 2 CDs that I do have are my signed Poppy album. This one is Zig. I got that at a Poppy meet and greet. I love Poppy. You will see. And my signed Real album, this is the EP that has the Blue Exorcist opening on it, and I got that signed at Anime Boston. Down here I have a Creamy Mommy and Asuka little Q Posket figures. I think I won them both in Crane Machines. I don't really buy these. And my beloved Trolls CD player. It has the Persona 3 soundtrack in it right now, and it sounds terrible. I got this on eBay and I love it so much, so I play CDs on my Trolls CD player. On the back of this shelf is some art prints. This one's like retro tech themed, which is why it's there. There's a long worm and a print from Thunder and Lightning, which is like a really cool comic, and a little Sanrio tag. It's one of my more recently like arranged shelves, but I really love it a lot, and I think it's very fun. Right next to the first blue shelf is the first white shelf. This shelving unit itself actually came from my high school. My high school moved buildings when I was in sophomore year, and I took this out of our art teacher's office, and I still have it. It's really nice because it's really tall, but it's really narrow, so it doesn't take up a lot of floor space, but it can fit a lot of stuff. On the very top is a creepy porcelain doll that's painted green. I honestly don't remember obtaining this. I think it's haunted. And my crown of thorns that I won for being really cool. The first shelf is the Danganronpa containment unit. There's my special copy of V3 for the PS Vita, some like crusty keychains and stuff. I don't really buy Danganronpa merchandise anymore, but I used to buy a lot of it and I couldn't bring myself to part with it, so now it all sits in this top cube. The second cube is the VTuber cube. Back there is my Off-Kai Expo Con book. There's some Nyaru stickers, the Senna stuff. There's Koni, a couple of Pippas. These are all like cards that I've gotten from VTubers at conventions, so a lot of these are from dead companies, and I kind of keep them as like a relic. There's my Pippa plush, and a Mio plush, some acrylic stands. There's Ami, and a little tiny polka thingy, and this Kirsha cube that I was given at Off-Kai Expo after accidentally appearing at a Kirsha meetup in the parking lot. That was really weird, but I obtained this like 3D printed cube from a fan. That was cute. This next shelf is where I keep my handheld games. So these are PS Vita games and Switch games. This shelf is at maximum capacity, so I might have to change it up soon. But here are my PS Vita games. I have quite a few. Yeah, I love the PS Vita a lot, and also my Switch games. All of the Switch games, almost none of them are in the containers. They're actually all in this little case, so that I can take them with me. And the case has Pear Tato on it. You can see what have I got here. Like, all of these first ones are Xenoblade, SMT, all kinds of, you know, Amanda stuff. And right in front, standing guard, is this little acrylic stand of Agnes Digital that I got recently in New York. Right underneath my handheld games, we have my little, it's kind of a miscellaneous shelf. It was going to be like a Persona shelf, but then I realized not a lot of my Persona merch actually fits here. So it's just a couple Persona 5 and 4 things. So then it kind of evolved into like a red and yellow sort of shelf. I don't know, it's not too well organized. There's a Bumblebee Transformer, my Yossified Gundam, some Wolf's Rain pins, just kind of a random like merch display. These 2 really cute plushies. Directly underneath that is another miscellaneous merch display, although this is kind of dedicated to like Western media instead of anime. So there's like my Ninja Turtle, some Trolls dolls, another Transformer, that's one Starscream, and my beloved Tron Legacy Lego set. There's also a couple other minifigures. There's a custom minifigure of the Harajuku girl from the Lego movie, and Sweet Mayhem from the Lego movie 2, which is my favorite movie. Okay, all the way on the ground here, this shelf is very underbaked, and I honestly want to change it up, but it's just really hard to see, so it kind of escapes my mind. But this is a Poppy collectible statue, which is like really, really beautiful. I should move it out from this little corner. Another Ninja Turtle, a like knockoff Transformer, and another art toy statue. They just kind of hang out down here because I don't have a better place for them. Right next to the shelf, I know you've been waiting to see it. This is my famed Blue Exorcist shrine. Here it is. So I'll start on the bottom. These are some stickers. Over here, this is a Blue Exorcist fanzine, and this is a copy of Time Killers, which is a short story collection that contains the short story that would become Blue Exorcist, and then every volume of Blue Exorcist that is currently published in English, one random Japanese volume that I got, and then those are the boxes for the Nendroids, and my creepy, uncanny Rin plush is kind of squished in here. I wish it didn't look so squished, but I can't do much else about it. Then on top, we just have loads of Blue Exorcist merch, fan-made and official. Basically all leaning up against the back here is like art books, so that's an art book, that's a bookmark, there's a book, that's the like movie production book, the 10th anniversary book, and a copy of Pash magazine from when the new season came out. There's some acrylic stands, this little bootleg Yu-Gi-Oh figure, a Rin figure, and my Nendroids, which are the only Nendroids I own, and the only Nendroids I will ever own. They are way too expensive, but I had to have them. We got Rin with his frying pan, he's so cute. And this is a bottle of holy water from the Vatican. If you've watched Blue Exorcist, it contains both holy water and the Vatican, so I went to the Vatican in real life to get holy water for my Blue Exorcist shrine. Please get on my level. Another fun item here is this poster, which is Rin, but he's Jesus. And I just think it really completes the look of my shrine, looking like a religious shrine. There's also a moon over it. But yeah, I love Blue Exorcist a normal amount. Directly under the Blue Exorcist shrine is my Vocaloid shelf. There's 2 Mikus, 2 Rins, and 1 Kaito in the middle. This is a Kaito, like, Project Diva prize figure, and it was the first anime figure I ever bought at, like, our local anime store that doesn't exist anymore. There's some tiny Sakura Mikus, these little Miku minis, a random bag that came with my copy of Project Diva X, it has dice in it, and a sticker that says, I met Hatsune Miku in the Boston Common, because I did. This shelf on the very bottom has more comic books, and some, like, science fiction kind of novels. A couple of these are, like, that's like my D&D player's guide, and I don't really play D&D. Just kind of a random catch-all for books that are way too heavy to put anywhere other than, like, the bottom shelf. Like, these copies of, like, The Wicked and the Divine are, like, super, super heavy. But yeah, I have actually yet to read all of these. I got them from a cool dude on the internet who offered me his collection of comic books, and I haven't read all of them. The rest of this wall just has, like, a ton of posters and postcards and collectibles. There's some more Vocaloids, a lot of business cards and tags. My Narugino washcloth, oh my god, my waifu. Lindo, there's a Gravity Falls poster, that's old. This picture, it's not even a poster, this was like my ticket to go see Poppy in 2017. And just a massive collection of artist business cards and stuff like that, just because I really like my whole wall to be really, like, busy and decorated. And this door here just goes to the bathroom. Here's kind of what this wall looks like all together. It's kind of a lot. Moving on to the other wall right next to the door, this pinboard has a lot of art prints on it, as well as some keychains and buttons. If you have a lot of, like, art and merch and stuff, I highly recommend getting a pinboard, because you can just poke holes into it and then hang your keychains. There's some Chi. This is a favorite print of mine. It's all of the boys from Persona 5, except they're the boys from Chunibyo Geki Hatsuboi, which is, like, a really niche piece of merch that someone made, so I had to get it. There's, like, a Sarazanmai keychain, an Emu keychain. I have 2 BB keychains, hi BB, and my Issa keychain. These are all from Off-Kai Expo. Down here are some more art prints. There's a Ghost in the Shell poster from when I went to see it in the theaters. This is really cool. It's a magazine ad for anime from 2007. It says, every day is Halloween for cosplayers, which is like, I guess this must have been a Halloween issue of a magazine. And it's selling D and Angel and Chrono Crusade, which are some of my favorite shitty early 2000s anime. There's a drawing someone made of me. Oh my god, face reveal. Red Bard's card. And this says, is the cure to female loneliness getting silly with the Massachusetts Bay Transit Authority? Down here, this is where I charge my camera battery. And this is every convention badge I've ever owned, except for one. Proudly displayed is my Off-Kite Expo one with all the ribbons. Oh my god, I got so many. Glory to be Pakistan. And it says, Amanda Lord of Darkness. It's my old username, Lamau. She's dead. Who killed her? I don't know. This is the door to my closet. Hanging on it is my, like, everyday crossbody bag. And this is not the wallet I use every day, but it has, like, my, like, important, like, social security and stuff in it. This little chalkboard, which I use to display magnets, because I've recently obtained some magnets. I have, like, an over-the-garden wall one. These ones came with my copy of Neo, The World Ends With You. There's a Jinbei-san one. And a couple other postcards. Directly above it, there's this print of all these, like, cats from cartoons and anime, which is so cute. A Shuckle Pokemon card, a mirror, and some glow-in-the-dark planets and stars, which actually belong to my grandfather, and they still glow, which is cool. And then up here, this is, like, weird, it's, the Immaculate Heart College Art Department rules. I did not go to Immaculate Heart College, but when I was 14, I was in an art class, and I was given this piece of paper with these rules, and I still have it, and I really like it. I don't know, I just think it's good advice for, like, art and stuff. Like, when I'm not feeling inspired, I really like Rule 7. The only rule is work, just keep making stuff. It keeps me going, so I've always had it up in my room wherever I go. Hanging on the door frame to my closet door, we've got another keychain and some candy bracelets, my beloved pen light with a Pippa sticker, and this teeny tiny pen light, which I just got recently, and it's so cute. So it's right next to my desk, so if you hear me on stream say, grab your pen light, I'm really grabbing my pen light, okay? And then this plug is how I turn the neon light on and off. It doesn't have like a switch, you just have to plug and unplug it, so it's kind of taped up there. Alright, and here it is, kind of the star of the show, my desk setup. Down here on the floor is my PC. It's clear, you can see inside it, built it myself. It's purple, it's very nice. Keep my headphones on top. I really want to replace those, they're getting nasty. They're like Razer, Kraken, whatever, the pink ones everyone has. Really quick, let's do over the desk. I have this like Lego brick, some art prints, Miku. Up there is a Niji Sanji print, which I got a long time ago, and I just think it's funny because like almost no one on this poster is still in Niji Sanji. There's another Miku and more prints down the side, so it makes sort of like a frame. Ooh, nice. There's the neon lights. I got this for my birthday a while ago, and it's just so much fun. I love it. Over here are my Phase Connect postcards and my signed Amy postcard that I got at Off-Kite Expo, and they sit right over my PC to inspire me to always be mentally ill. Alright, so right over here we got my phone that I use for VTubing. It's my old phone. It's just plugged into the computer. I don't use it for anything else. It's like an iPhone. It's like an old iPhone. One of the speakers and my tablet pen. Then I have my regular monitor up on this little stand, and then underneath it is this monitor, which is also a drawing tablet. So when I want to use it to draw, I just scoot the keyboard out of the way. And it works really well, so like, I play the game here, and the chat is there. I know people have like more monitors, they have like 3, but I never felt like I needed 3. I felt like I was always good with just one on the top and one on the bottom. I found to be the ideal setup. I used to have like 2 side by side, and the tablet like in a drawer, but this is just what's worked best for me in recent years. You know, maybe it'll change, but that's how it is for right now. My keyboard, which I think is really cool. It's also really loud. Enjoy that. And there's just like a regular webcam on top because sometimes I need to make Zoom calls, unfortunately. On the other side, there's the other speaker, my PlayStation 4 controller, which is what I use on the PC. There's a little notepad that has Wonderland Showtime on it, and this is my day planner. I can't do anything without it. My water bottle, that's the culprit for why I'm always pissing. And then here we have my Elgato Wave 3 microphone on the Elgato arm, and it's strapped up. It doesn't, this looks stupid. It won't attach to my desk because my desk isn't beveled enough, like this isn't wide enough. So it's attached to this shelf, which is why it's so freaking far away, and I cannot get it any closer. So this is the setup we're working with right now. It's really not ideal, but I think it's okay. I don't know. Here's my mouse. It's a purple Logitech mouse. And my desk mat, which is really, really pretty. And it's from like an Intel artist collection, and I think it's cool because her gun that she has is the Intel i9, which is what's in my computer, so I just think it's fun. Here's my chair. It's not that exciting, it's just an IKEA chair. There's like a cushion on it and a Blue Exorcist blanket. There's also like an ottoman underneath, so sometimes I can put my feet up there. So the desk itself, you can see it better from this side, it used to be all white, and I've had it since I was very young, and during COVID, so in like 2020, 2021, I painted it pink and blue and added these star drawers. And I made it just like super cute, and I'm super, super proud of it to this day. That's what it looks like from the side. I'm super, super proud of my like custom desk. So that's the whole setup. So this top drawer has some pens. Back there is sticky notes and tape. And this little container contains cables to connect shit to my PC. This connects my Switch to my PC. This connects my controller to my PC. This one's for like the iPod. That one's for the camera. I feel like one thing people do not tell you when they're like, get into retro tech, it's so cool, start filming on film and carrying around an iPod, is that you're gonna need 10 zillion cables to attach everything, to your PC. This one is like a junk drawer, and it's almost entirely empty at the moment. So that's exciting. So right next to my desk is the second of these blue shelving units. I honestly don't love these blue shelving units, they're just really dark. But they were my dad's, and now I have them, so it's fine. They have a lot of storage, which is nice. These, once again, are just full of clothes. This first shelf here has a couple binders and notebooks. This is one of my most frequently grabbed book. This is Spark Joy by Marie Kondo, and I grab it all the time when I'm like trying to actually make my space organized. Right here I have my very meager collection of adult dolls, like art dolls. That's my pull-up doll. Pull-up dolls are these like beautiful like art dolls from Korea. And this doll right here is, that's her box behind her, is an art doll called a Tomorrow Queen's Call Echo. This is the pink sideshow, and she's really, really beautiful. I did sew her those panties myself because she doesn't come with any panties, and she is anatomically correct. But she's like one of the coolest pieces in my collection. She stands on her own, she's super tall, she's just like a really, really beautiful piece of art to display. Back there are two Nerf guns that I painted and a Hello Kitty water bottle. And then this little shelf that I used to display some like smaller figures. There's these little like unicornos, some blind box stuff, some Adventure Time figures. I think that they're pretty cute. This is my main figure shelf. It's basically divided exactly down the middle into Persona and not Persona. Back there is my, like, ugly bootleg Joker that I painted myself. Don't look too closely at him, he's a little ugly, but he's my hideous son. Two Yosuke's, large and small. Narukami is back there. These two figures go together. There's a third in the set, but I don't have it, unfortunately. And the Aegis figure that came with Persona 3 Reload. Over here are two of the Marimashita Iruma-kun figures. These were a bitch to import because they like never sold them in America at the time. They might now, but I got these like right when they were released in Japan, and they're really, really cute. And my other bootleg garage kit is this Baishojo Pinkie Pie that I made myself, and I made the base with these like cream sodas and stuff. I think it's pretty cute. I love Pinkie Pie. Right above that is my shelf for any manga that isn't Blue Exorcist. It's not a ton. There's the box for the Yosuke figure, just kind of propping stuff up. This is a Project Sekai book. Then there's the Persona 5 art book. Some DN Angel, Sarah Zanmai, just kind of like random volumes I've acquired. These is the only other one I have that's like a complete set. Those are all the Devil is a Part-Timer High School mangas. This one is the complete saga for Concrete Revolution, which I'm gonna use this chance to shout it out. If you've never heard of, watched, or read Concrete Revolution, not Concrete Revolution, Concrete Revolution, there's no N. I highly recommend it. This is a seriously underrated series. Then up at the top here are kind of my like childhood books. I don't often bring them down to read them, but there's like my Percy Jackson books. Mostly I was a Percy Jackson kid. And those other ones are Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, which is the other series I loved as a kid. And so I just, I can't bring myself to part with my copies, even though I don't read them a lot, so they're kind of up on the top. And then up on the very top is my stack of boxes, because I cannot part with the boxes for my figures. But yeah, that's that shelf. Right next to it is a little collection of some more posters. This Evangelion art print is like one of my favorite art prints that I have. It's just like so detailed and beautiful. Then I have 2 posters of Queen Misako Aoki. If you don't know, she's like the patron saint of Lolita fashion. We love her a lot. Down here on the floor is just a little basket with another couple of plushies in it. And this is my white IKEA cart with some just kind of random necessities on it. It has a plant, some like lotion and perfume and deodorant, some pens and pencils, like some makeup, some Lego flowers, just kind of random stuff you gotta have in your room. The second tier has a couple more books that I'm currently trying to read, and some more knickknacks. The bottom has a roll of paper towels, 2 more books, and an organizer I'm not using. This was previously full of art supplies that I've since moved to another room, so now it's very empty, and I'm still kind of figuring out what I want to go on it, but that's the current state of it. Right next to it, I have a little bed for the cats when they come in here. They hang out in there. This is my dress form. I used to want to sew clothes, but now I don't really sew clothes anymore, but I use it as decoration. It has this very pretty top on it right now, and I love the way that it looks in my room, although it is a little bit creepy when I turn the lights off because sometimes it looks like there's a person standing there. On the floor back behind it is my comically large Phase Origins bag from Offkai Expo. I have literally nowhere else I can put that. It's enormous, and it's full of even more bags. On the floor here are a couple of plushies that are kind of too big for my bed. This extremely large panda was in my nursery when I was a baby because my parents called me Amanda Panda when I was a baby, so they got me a giant panda, and now it hangs out in the corner of my room. This wall here has some more kind of like fine art. It's not like anime prints, it's like art prints from galleries that I've come across. Also, my whole back wall here is like a big window. I almost never open the window. And it's not because I'm just like a shut-in who doesn't like to open the window, but it's because it looks right into my neighbor's garage, and they have a really bright floodlight out there that turns on as soon as it gets dark. So there's always like a really bright beam of light coming through this window, so it's always closed for that reason. A power strip that has chargers for my phone and stuff, just, you know, so I can charge stuff while I'm in bed. This is another piece that I painted. I got it off the side of the road when I was younger, and I painted it white and added this crystally knob. And I like it a lot. Down on the bottom shelf, these are all full sketchbooks that I drew up. Here is another book I'm trying to read. It's my big copy of The Electric State. This container has like random bed stuff. It's like the thing that I put on my head to sleep, like my face mask and stuff like that. Those are glasses I don't wear. There's candles and my clock. It's 10:27 p.m. This door here, it has a 13 Sentinels poster on it. This door leads into like the weird unfinished half of my house. So I'm on the top floor, and when my parents were building this house, they like hired the company to build it, but then they didn't have enough money to like finish half of the floor. So there's kind of like this unfinished gigantic room behind my room, and that's the door that leads to that. It's just like full of spiders, I think. It's all blocked off, so I never go back there. Over my bed, I hung up this floating shelf so I can display more crap. There's some plushies and some vintage toys. My large Monster High doll. There's a doll that I made. Just kind of random stuff that doesn't have anywhere better to go. And above it is another 13 Sentinels print, 2 more Vocaloid posters, 3 more, I lied, and a Paranorman poster, because it's one of my favorite movies. I ran some string lights around my bed too, just for a little bit of extra lighting in here, because like I said, I basically never turn the lights on. The last thing I want to show you real quick is this giant jellyfish plush that hangs over my bed. I think it's really neat. I got it at an aquarium, and I think it looks cool because my bed is space themed, and then this is a jellyfish, so it's kind of like water and space. I don't know guys. Okay, I just think it's cool. Thank you so much for watching my room tour and letting me show you around my little gamer cave. I'm really passionate about all the stuff that I've collected in my room, and I hope you enjoyed taking a little peek. Okay, bye!